All praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Ha-Rakah Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which taught us the truth, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure into the end. Shalom. Alright, this video is off of Get This Work, GMS Get This Work. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and let it play, and I'm going to grab scripture with exactly what Jake, the Israelite, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian, alright, which has been scattered throughout the world in slavery, point out about this red devil, which is called the so-called white man. Their biblical name is Edom.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Oh, well, according to television, everything. A white man could fly. Even a white woman, she could be 4'1". She knew karate. She could take down 15 people.
What are white people superior at?
So right there in Genesis, all right, it said that the serpent, which was Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, all right, he deceived the woman. And that's what he does today. He deceives, and he goes after the woman, and he taught the woman that she was better than a man, or equal to a man. All right, this is Genesis 3 verse 1. Now the serpent, which is the so-called white man in the past, but he had color. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which he's a cunning serpent, which they're actually going to say that in this video, that he's very wise to do evil, which Yahweh's Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman, hath Elohim said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Now I'm going to jump down to verse 13. And Yahweh's Elohim said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent, the Edomite, the so-called white man today, beguiled me, and I did eat. Alright, so he's very deceiving, just like that first woman said. Alright, he deceives you in thinking that he could fly, he's Superman, he's an angel of light, he's a Christian, that he loves you and cares about you. But in fact, it's the opposite. He's a murderer, a thief, a liar. And I'll let it go on because they're going to explain that.
Man. Oh, God.
And this is the spirit. I was actually doing this the other day, just with my rib, because you know we do food deliveries, and really there's no such thing as a so-called white restaurant. You got Mexican restaurants, you got soul food restaurants, you got Indian, like East Indian restaurants, you got Somalian restaurants, Ethiopian restaurants, you got all these different nationalities and their restaurants, but you don't have no so-called white restaurants. And you have diners, you know, American diners, but when you go in there, they're gonna try to sell you a fucking smothered burrito. Alright, they're gonna try to sell you things that other nations created, because the so-called white man has nothing. Alright, all he got is that sword and his lies.
What are white people superior at?
They just keep talking, mostly about their pets.
White people love their dogs. Like, that's all you see.
Cats, letting them get on your countertops while you're cooking. Yes. I get that you love your pet, but like you need to take it everywhere, like everywhere.
All right, which is biblical. Job. And really, they're molesting these animals. It says in Job 30, verse 1, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision. I mean, they speak against the Israelite. We're greater than them, but they talk down on us. Whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Why would he have disdained against these Edomites for them to be around his dogs? Let's go into that word disdained. To reject, refuse, despise, because they molest the animals. They try to treat the animal like a human, like another person. So they're weird, they're fucked up, they're sick. All right, look, here you go. Bestiality, incest, among charges in Daphne arrests. And you can clearly see that these are so-called Caucasians, which are red. All right, this actually just happened here in Colorado. These Edomites, the so-called Caucasians, were raping the dogs that they were supposed to be babysitting or dog sitting or whatever they call it. All right, so these animals, they're like animals. The Edomites are like animals. That's why it says they're the most cunning beast, because they do shit that dogs wouldn't even do. And that's why Job said he wouldn't even want them around his dogs. Why? Because they would be doing some freaky shit with the dog. They'd be putting some clothes on the dog so that they could call the dog their son. And they say, oh, I'm your mommy, I'm your daddy. Licking off the same spoon of the dog. All right, these people are nothing more than animals. That's why they eat bloody meat and approve of homosexual sex, because they're freaks.
I guess, you know, hey, emotional support animals, I guess.
What exactly are white people superior? Fuck, man, like making cereal, casseroles.
What kind of casserole?
Tuna. It's always tuna. What do you mean? It's always tuna.
Using mayonnaise in a lot of their recipes.
Making bland food.
Unseasoned chicken.
How you gonna start?
There you go. That's in the scriptures. It says in Job 30, verse 2, yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. All right? So they're not good at nothing. They're not good at work. They're not good at serving. They're not good at cooking. And when they get old, look at the Rothschilds. They're fucking ugly. You don't even want them around you. They're disgusting. And they get like that at 30. You see a fine little Edomite, but right at 30, 35, she look 50. And then when she get 50, she look like 90. She look disgusting. So what good are they? They were created to kill. They are the natural born killers. All right, they are murderers. They are thieves. They are the wicked.
Whole spice wars and don't even use seasoning on your food. I mean, come on.
What exactly are white people superior?
Smelling funky. Santa Claus.
Extreme water sports.
Corn mazes.
White people are great at having fun. That's a function
of white supremacy because they just don't have as many stresses as we do.
White people are very superior at their privilege and utilizing it. We do not have the privilege to do whatever and however we want to.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Not getting arrested.
You know, I was driving down the street down the highway with a friend of mine who was white, when he's like, I just want to pull over and pee. And I'm in the passenger seat. And I was like, please don't, because a black man thinks differently. If I pull over to the side of the road and pee, a cop is going to be right behind me to punish me.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Insecurity? Pretend.
All right? And that's in the scriptures that in Obadiah, verse 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock. Caucasian. The word Caucasian means cave dweller, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Fear, being fearful of nothing, being ignorant,
Blame,
letting their egos control their every move,
Privilege.
feeling victimized,
Playing the victim.
congratulating themselves over shit that they're incompetent at, or that should have already been done.
they're superior at big dicks.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Oppression, gaslighting,
Lack of empathy.
intellectualizing oppression. Did I say oppression? They're just creatively thinking of new ways of like always staying one step ahead of other people. We get rid of slave catchers.
Oh yeah, I just saw this. The other day I took my family to the zoo, and half the zoo animals died from the Vicky Veronica that they're making mandatory. And these fucking Edomites, they said, oh, it was one gorilla, and last year there was like 5 gorillas, but now there's one gorilla all sedated by himself in the corner, all freaked out. You can tell he looked like a crack addict, and these Edomites are justifying it. Oh, look how comfortable he looks. Oh, he's so close to the wall because the concrete is so cold for him. All right, you got this orangutan fucking hiding under a blanket. It's 100 degrees, and it's like he's hallucinating from the drugs that they got him full of, and they think he's playing hide and seek. See, that's how these devils think. In their mind, they can't do no wrong. All right, they are the wicked, and the wicked will never understand.
Just expand the police force. Like, that stuff to me is wild.
What exactly are white people superior at? Making us believe that we don't matter.
Believing that they're superior.
Feeling superior.
Thinking they're superior.
Thinking that they're superior.
Thinking that they are superior.
Self-delusion.
Controlling the narrative.
Believing their own press.
Marketing of white superiority.
Whether you
Which we gotta go back to Genesis for that one. Genesis 3. Verse 14. And Yahweh Elohim said unto the serpent, which is Edom, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Which they pretty much create confusion everywhere they go. Remember their motto, order out of chaos. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, which is the Israelites. Her seed is the Israelites and the Edomites. So there's always a hate, a perpetual hate from Esau to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Speaking of the Messiah, the Roman Edomites crucified Yahushua? Why didn't the East Indians, Elam, do it? Why didn't Japheth do it? Why didn't the Assyrians do it? Why didn't the Moab or Ammon do it? It was the Roman Edomites, and it was because they are the wicked, and that was to condemn them. All right? So there is a hatred between the Edomite and the Israelite that could never be put out. A perpetual hate.
You are Republican, whether you're Democrat, whether you're conservative, like white people are really good at upholding white supremacy.
How about claiming that, they are actually a whole separate race, when actually white DNA comes from the black female?
So what exactly are white people?
See, that's in the Bible. Genesis 25, which once again, they are not red. They are not white, they are red. Genesis 25, verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, a dawam, all over like a hairy garment. So he was red. Have you ever seen a premature baby where they are small, weak, and red? That's how Edom came out of his mother, which his mother was a so-called black woman. His father was Isaac, and he was a so-called black man. And they called his name Esau, which is Aishawa, which means wasted away, because he looked like a premature little weak red baby. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, which was prophetic of the end of the world is Esau, and the beginning of it that cometh is Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. All right? So Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, came out of a so-called black man's loins, Isaac, and out of a so-called black woman's womb. All right? Which it was Isaac's wife, Rebecca. All right? And the reason why he came out red like that, because he is the reincarnation of Cain. And Cain killed his brother Abel and hid his body because he was rejected, because he's the wicked. All right? He's disobedient, he's profane, and he is the wicked. And when he killed his brother Abel, the Lord took his color from him. He removed his melanin. Esau, Edom has the mark of Cain, which is the lack of melanin. So, Edom is the reincarnation of Cain. Okay?
Honey, lying, stealing, and cheating.
Manipulation. Withholding information.
Lying? Telling lies.
What kind of lies?
The lies of history.
They say that history is written by the victor, but the victor could be replaced by the colonizer.
What are white people superior at?
Conquering. Imperialism.
Colonizing. Colonialism.
Colonization. They might be better at that.
All right. Going back to Job 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And I'll give you an example of him covering up the faces of the judges thereof. All right? So if it ain't the so-called white man, who is it then? Who is the wicked that Yahweh and Yahushai hate, that has the judgment of destruction? It says in Obadiah, verse 1, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the supreme power Yahweh concerning Edom, talking about that red nation. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. So everybody wants to kill this devil. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. They don't make babies like the rest of the nations. They're homosexuals. They're in the act of bestiality. Thou art greatly despised, and everybody, including your own people, fucking hate you. It says in verse 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, because you got to remember, Esau and Jacob were twins, their father being Isaac and their mother Rebekah, and they were separated in the womb. Genesis 25. Shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And that's why they don't like the revealing of who they are. They get all mad because that shame, they can't handle that shame. All right, and it says in verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, talking about the prophets of the nation of Israel. The house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. So eventually the Lord is gonna pretty much do away with these devils after they serve 1,000 years in slavery. They're gonna actually go into slavery under the Israelites for 1,000 years and then be made extinct. Why? Because they destroyed the world. They destroyed the people. Isaiah 14 verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his sons. The sons carry the seed in the loin. For the iniquity, for the immoral behavior of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Right? Let me go up to the top. It says, verse 6, he who smote the people in wrath, the wicked who rule the world, and they're always causing people trouble. Look at Afghanistan. Look at Syria. All right, they go in that land, people's lands, and they destroy it. They take the resources, and then they call you a fucking terrorist. Look what they did to the North American Indian. Look what they did to the so-called Mexican. Right here where I sit today in Denver, Colorado, was once Mexico. Now you got the Mexicans in fucking border camps being abused, all right, separated from their families. The children are molested. The women are raped and killed, all right, and they call you fucking aliens. And this was your land. They say you're fucking disease-carrying aliens. See, they're the devil. It says, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. So when this devil goes down, everybody's going to have a hand in on it. Everyone wants to shoot nuclear missiles on these devils, especially the American devil, the so-called white man of America. But the entire race of Esau, Edom, is going to be obliterated eventually. They're going to be made extinct. And rightfully so.
us and everybody else, really.
They ballsy. They rose up all over the world, and they walk into everybody's house and says, "Oh, this is nice. I'm gonna take your shit," and they have no qualms about it. They can take anything, baby.
What exactly are white people superior?
They're real good at violence.
Genocide.
It's like stealing people's lives just because they feel like it.
If you are white and you know this is happening and you say nothing, then you're a killer too. You are adopting a whole philosophy that says it's okay to do this. And part of that philosophy allows you to be ignorant, right? And they're like, oh, I didn't know.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Taking what's not there, taking shit.
Taking our ideas.
Copycat.
Gentrification.
Appropriating things that do not belong to them.
Taking over other people's cultures and making you believe that they invented it.
Maybe they're thinking of it as repurposing. It's like recycle and
Yeah, like the Greeks and the Romans. There's really no such thing as a Greek or a Roman. All right, let's go to Revelation 17. All right. I'm sorry, Revelation 13. And this is dealing with their beast system. All right, this is their so-called white supremacy. It says in Revelation 13 verse 1, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, which are the European Union. The 10 horns are the kings of the European Union. And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Blasphemy means lies. All right? They are not the Greeks. They are not the Romans. They are not the British. They are not German. They are not Spanish. They are not French. They are not Americans. They are Edomites. Red. They are the red devil the Bible speaks of.
As my grandma would say, the white folk, they'll take it if you don't copyright it.
They are very good at destruction of land, destruction of people, destruction of humanness.
What exactly are white people superior at?
White people are not superior with anything.
Nothing.
Nothing.
nothing. There's nothing.
Nothing.
I don't believe that they're superior in any way, shape, or form.
That's right. They are nothing. I'm going to go to the Apocrypha for this one. 2nd Ezra chapter 6. Verse 56. As for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us and to devour us.
Because our skin color is different, you're no better than me, you're no smarter than me. No superiority there.
In fact, we're going to finish up with Deuteronomy 28:1. We are the greater, we are superior, the Israelite, the so-called blacks, so-called Latinos, the so-called Native American Indians, all right, that have been scattered throughout the world in slavery. are the greatest people on the earth. Esau, Edom, the so-called white people, are the bottom of the barrel. That's why at the end of this slavery, the 2/3 that refuse to recognize the truth and repent and return to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, they will be destroyed with Esau and these heathen, because there is no more worse slavery that you could go into than this one. The so-called white man is the lowest existence of life. This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. So we are the apple of the Lord's eye. The Israelites are the chosen of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. One more, got me. Romans 9:13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. There you go. Endure, brothers.